I'm writing this from a rest stop bathroom somewhere in Nevada. My phone has 6% battery left and no signal. I've been driving for 9 hours straight, trying to put as much distance as possible between me and that road. But I don't think distance matters anymore. I don't think anything matters anymore. My hands won't stop shaking. Every time I close my eyes, I see the toll booths. Every time I hear a car engine, I think it's them coming back. And every time I look in the rearview mirror, I'm terrified I'll see that road appearing behind me again. My name is Jordan Mills. I'm 21 years old. 3 days ago, I was a college senior at State University with a 3.8 GPA and plans for law school. 3 days ago, I had 4 best friends who I'd known since freshman year. Now, I'm the only one left. And I need to tell you what happened before my phone dies, before they find me, before that road finds me again. It started on Halloween weekend. We'd all been planning this trip for months. My roommate, Casey, had found this amazing rental house in the mountains of West Virginia, one of those vintage Airbnb places that look straight out of a horror movie, but in a fun, Instagram-worthy way. The 5 of us, me, Casey, Marcus, Ethan, and Riley, we're going to spend the long weekend hiking, drinking, and celebrating the fact that we were finally in our last year of college. We left campus Friday afternoon, around 4 p.m. Casey drove her SUV since it had room for all of us, plus our bags. The drive was supposed to take about 4 hours. Easy. We'd get there by dinner, spend the weekend doing absolutely nothing productive, and drive back Monday morning. Nobody mentioned taking a shortcut. Nobody suggested deviating from the GPS route. But around 7 p.m., just as the sun was setting, Casey's phone died. "Shit," she said, fumbling with the charging cable. "My phone's dead and it's not charging. Jordan, can you navigate?" I pulled out my phone and opened the Maps app. We were on Highway 52, still about 90 minutes from the rental house. The route looks straightforward. Just stay on the highway until we hit County Road 17, then follow that up into the mountains. But then, Ethan, who was in the passenger seat, pointed to something up ahead. A road sign, hand-painted, weathered, barely visible in the growing darkness. Mountain Pass Toll Road, shortcut to County Road 17, 45 minutes. "Should we take it?" Ethan asked. "We could save almost an hour." Marcus, sitting next to me in the back seat, shook his head. "Dude, we don't even know if that road is maintained. Could be a trap." "A trap for what?" Riley laughed from the way back. "We're in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing out here but trees." I looked at my phone. The GPS didn't show any toll road. In fact, it didn't show any road at all in the direction the sign was pointing. Just blank space on the map, like that entire area didn't exist digitally. "I don't know," I said. "The GPS doesn't recognize it." "GPS is always wrong in the mountains," Casey said. She slowed down as we approached the turnoff. "Look, there's the entrance." She was right. There was a narrow paved road branching off from the highway, disappearing into the dense forest. At the entrance stood a small toll booth, dark and apparently unmanned. A sign above it read, "First toll, knowledge." "Knowledge? What kind of toll is knowledge?" Riley said. "Maybe it's just some quirky local thing, like they ask you trivia questions or something. Come on, let's check it out. If it looks sketchy, we'll turn around." That was our first mistake. We should have stayed on the highway. We should have trusted the GPS. We should have questioned why a random toll road in the mountains wasn't on any map. But we were young and stupid and running late, so Casey turned onto the road. The moment her SUV crossed onto that pavement, I felt something change. The air got heavier. The forest on either side seemed to press closer, and even though it was only 7 p.m., it suddenly felt like the middle of the night. We drove slowly toward the first toll booth. As we got closer, the lights inside flickered on. Someone was there. Casey pulled up to the window and rolled hers down. A man leaned out. He was old, maybe 70, with deeply lined skin and eyes that didn't quite focus on anything. He wore a uniform that looked decades out of date, like something from the 1950s. "First toll," he said, his voice flat, emotionless. "The price is knowledge." Okay," Casey said nervously. "What does that mean? Do we answer a question, or—" "What is something you know that no one else knows? Tell me a secret, a real one, something you've never told anyone." We all looked at each other. This was weird, really weird. "Is this like a therapy toll booth?" Ethan joked, but his voice was shaky. "Tell me a secret," he repeated, "or you cannot pass." Casey glanced back at us. I could see her hands gripping the steering wheel, knuckles white. After a long moment, she leaned toward the window and spoke quietly. "I cheated on my boyfriend last summer, at a party. He never found out." The man nodded slowly. He reached out and touched Casey's forehead with one finger. She flinched. "Knowledge received. You may pass." A barrier ahead of us lifted. Casey didn't wait. She hit the gas and we lurched forward, putting the toll booth behind us. "What the fuck was that?" Marcus said. "I don't know, but I don't like it. Casey, let's turn around." "I can't," Casey said. Her voice was tight. "The road's too narrow. There's nowhere to turn around. We have to keep going." And she was right. The road ahead was barely wide enough for one vehicle, with dense forest on either side and no shoulder. Behind us, I could see the toll booth receding in the side mirror, but the road we'd come from was gone. Just darkness. We drove in silence for maybe 10 minutes. The road wound through the mountains, climbing steadily. No other cars, no signs of civilization, just the narrow ribbon of pavement cutting through an endless forest. Then we saw the second toll booth.
This one was lit up, waiting for us. As we approached, I could see a different attendant inside. This one was a woman, younger, maybe 40, with a blank expression that matched the first attendant's. Casey slowed to a stop. She didn't roll down the window this time. The woman's voice came through anyway, as if the glass wasn't there. "Second toll. The price is memory."
"What?" Riley said. "What does that mean?"
"Choose a memory. Your favorite memory. Describe it to me in detail. Once you tell me, you will forget it forever."
No way. We're not doing this."
"You cannot go forward without paying. You cannot go back. The road only moves in one direction now." I looked behind us. She was right. The road we'd just driven on was gone, just a wall of trees, as if the pavement had never existed. "This is insane," Marcus said. He pulled out his phone. "I'm calling the police." No signal. None of us had signal. "Choose," the woman said, "or sit here forever." Casey was crying now, silent tears running down her face. Finally, she spoke.
My 8th birthday party. My mom was still alive. She made me a cake shaped like a castle. All my friends came. We played in the backyard until the fireflies came out. It was perfect. As she described it, her voice got quieter. By the end, she was barely whispering. When she finished, the woman reached through the window. Somehow her arm just passed through the glass like it wasn't there, and touched Casey's temple. Casey gasped. Then her face went blank. What was I just talking about?" she said. The barrier lifted. "Casey," I said, "your 8th birthday, your mom, do you remember?" She looked at me with confused eyes. "My 8th birthday? I don't remember my 8th birthday. Why don't I remember?" "Drive," Ethan said. "Just drive." She drove. For the next 20 minutes, Casey kept asking what she'd forgotten. We didn't tell her. How could we? She'd just traded her happiest memory for passage on this cursed road. The third toll booth appeared ahead. Same setup, different attendant. This one was younger, maybe our age, with a blank expression that matched the first attendant's. Casey slowed to a stop. She didn't roll down the window this time. The woman's voice came through anyway, as if the glass wasn't there. "Second toll. The price is time." "What?" Riley said. "What does that mean?" "Each of you will age 5 years in an instant. That is the price." "Fuck that," Marcus said. "Turn around, Casey." "I can't," she screamed. "Don't you get it? The road won't let us turn around." And she was right. Behind us was just darkness now. The road itself seemed to be disappearing as we moved forward, like we were on a conveyor belt that was consuming itself behind us. "Choose," the woman said, "or sit here until you die of old age anyway." We sat there for maybe 2 minutes, arguing, panicking. Finally, Riley spoke up. "It's just 5 years. We'll go from 21 to 26. That's nothing. We're still young." "Riley, we don't know what this will do to us." "We don't have a choice, Jordan." She was right. We didn't. One by one, we leaned toward the window. One by one, the attendant touched our foreheads. And one by one, we aged. I felt it happen. Felt my cells shifting, time compressing, years passing in an instant. When I looked in the side mirror, I looked older. Not dramatically different, but different. Fine lines around my eyes, a slight hardness to my face that hadn't been there before. We all looked at each other horrified. We were 26 now. We'd lost 5 years of our lives in seconds. The barrier lifted. Casey drove. "How many more toll booths are there?" Ethan asked. Nobody answered. We didn't want to think about it. The 4th toll booth came 15 minutes later. "4th toll. The price is sensation." "What does that mean?" The attendant, another stranger with dead eyes, pointed at each of us. "Each of you will lose 1 sense. Touch, taste, smell, hearing, or sight. Choose which one you will sacrifice." "This is a nightmare," Casey whispered. "This has to be a nightmare." But it wasn't. We all knew it wasn't. We argued for 10 minutes. Finally, we decided. Riley would lose taste. Marcus would lose smell. Ethan would lose touch. Casey would lose a portion of her hearing. And I would lose my sense of direction permanently. Every place would feel foreign. Nowhere would feel like home. The attendant touched each of us. I felt something drain out of me, something fundamental. When I tried to picture my childhood home, it was just a house. No feeling of belonging, no sense of home, just walls and furniture. The barrier lifted. We drove. The fifth toll booth appeared as the road began to descend. We were heading down the mountain now. Finally, maybe this was almost over. Fifth toll. The price is identity. What does that mean? Marcus asked, his voice breaking. Each of you will forget your own name. You will know who you are, but when you try to say your name, it will be gone. When others speak it, you will not recognize it as your own. This one broke us. We all started crying, even Marcus, who never cried. We begged, we pleaded, but the attendant just stared with those dead eyes. Pay or sit here forever. One by one, we paid. When it was done, I couldn't remember my name. I knew I was me. I knew my memories, the ones I had left. But my name was just gone. A blank space in my identity. The barrier lifted. We drove. How much further? The person driving asked. I knew her. We'd been friends for years, but I couldn't remember her name. I don't know, I said, but my voice sounded wrong because I couldn't remember my own name either. The sixth toll booth was different. This one had two attendants. They looked exactly alike. Twins, maybe, or the same person duplicated. Sixth toll, they said in perfect unison. The price is connection. What does that mean? One of my friends asked. One of you will be forgotten by the others completely, as if you never existed. That person will remember all of you, but none of you will remember them. No, we're not doing this. Choose or we choose for you. We looked at each other. How do you choose which friend to erase? We couldn't. We sat there in silence, unable to make that choice. After 5 minutes, the attendant spoke again. We have chosen. They pointed at the person in the back row, the one I couldn't quite see clearly, the one I named I'd forgotten. Now, wait, I'd never known their name. Had there always been 5 of us, or 4? I turned around to look. There was someone there. I could see them, but as I looked directly at them, I was forgetting. Their face was becoming generic. Their voice was fading. No, please, don't forget me. But I couldn't hear the name. And a second later, I couldn't remember why there was an extra person in the car. By the time the barrier lifted, there were 4 of us. There had always been 4 of us. But somewhere in my mind, buried deep, I knew that was wrong. We'd started with 5. Hadn't we? We drove. The 7th toll booth appeared at the bottom of the mountain. The road was level now, cutting through flat farmland. In the distance, I could see lights. Civilization. We were almost there. 7th toll, the attendant said. The price is future. What? Each of you will lose your future, your plans, your dreams, your ambitions, all gone. You will exist, but you will have no direction, no goals, no purpose. The person driving started laughing. It was a horrible sound, like something breaking. "What does it matter?" they said. "We've already lost everything else." One by one, we leaned forward. One by one, the attendant touched us. And one by one, our futures disappeared. I tried to remember what I had wanted to be. Law school, right? But why? It didn't matter. Nothing mattered. There was no future to plan for, just the endless present. The barrier lifted. We drove. The 8th toll booth appeared after just 5 minutes. We were on a normal highway now. I could see other cars in the distance, their headlights like distant stars. "8th toll," the attendant said. "The price is trust." "What does that mean?" someone asked. I didn't know who. I didn't trust them to tell the truth anyway. "You will lose the ability to trust each other. Every word will sound like a lie. Every action will seem suspicious." We paid. What choice did we have? The moment the attendant touched us, I felt it happen. I looked at the person driving and wondered if they were planning to kill us. I looked at the person next to me and wondered what they were hiding. Every face looked like a mask. Every word sounded hollow. The barrier lifted. We drove. The 9th toll booth was in the middle of the highway, impossible to avoid. Traffic had stopped. Other cars were waiting. "9th toll," the attendant said. "The price is safety." "What does that mean?" someone asked. I didn't know who. I didn't trust them to tell the truth anyway. "From this point forward, you will never feel safe again. Nowhere will be sanctuary. No one will be trustworthy. You will live in constant fear." Someone started screaming. I think it was me, but the attendant just watched with those dead eyes. We paid. What choice did we have? The moment the attendant touched us, I felt it happen. I looked at the person driving and wondered if they were planning to kill us. I looked at the person next to me and wondered what they were hiding. Every face looked like a mask. Every word sounded hollow. The barrier lifted. We drove. But now every sound was a threat. Every shadow held danger. My heart raced constantly. My hands shook. I couldn't breathe right. The 10th toll booth appeared on an empty stretch of road. "Final toll," the attendant said. "The price is life." "What?" someone whispered. "One of you must stay. One of you must take my place. The rest may go. Choose, or I will choose." We looked at each other. We couldn't trust each other. We couldn't remember our names. We had no future, no safety, no sensation. "I'll stay," someone said. The one driving. "I'll stay. Just let them go." "No," I started to say. But I didn't know this person. Did I? We'd been together for how long? I couldn't remember. The attendant opened the car door. The driver got out. They walked to the toll booth, stepped inside, and as we watched, they changed. Their face went blank, their eyes went dead. They became the attendant. "You may pass," they said, in that same flat voice. The three of us who remained drove forward, through the barrier, back onto a normal road with street lights and signs and other cars. We drove for an hour in silence. Then one of us pulled over at a rest stop. "What just happened?" someone asked. None of us could answer. We got out of the car and looked at each other. Three strangers who had somehow ended up together. Do you know me?" I asked. They shook their heads. "Do you know where we're going?" More head shaking. We stood there in the parking lot, three people who had lost everything, trying to piece together what had happened. That was when I noticed the sign at the entrance to the rest stop. Mountain Pass Toll Road, entrance 1 mile ahead. "No," I said. "No, we just came from there." But the road was calling. I could feel it. We all could. One of the others got back in the car, started the engine. "Where are you going?" I asked. "Back," they said. "I need to go back. I need to remember." They drove away, toward the toll road entrance. I never saw them again. The third person looked at me. "What do we do?" "I don't know," I said. "I can't remember what we're supposed to do." They walked away, just walked off into the darkness, left me standing alone. That was 3 days ago. I've been here ever since, at this rest stop, watching cars come and go, watching people pull in, rest, and leave, and every single one of them eventually drives toward the toll road. I can see it now, in the distance, the entrance, the first toll booth, glowing in the darkness. It's calling to me. I know I should run. I know I should get as far away as possible, but I can't remember why I'm running. I can't remember what I'm running from. I can't remember my name. I can't remember my future. I can't remember if any of this was real. All I know is that the toll road is there, waiting. And maybe if I go back through it, I'll remember. Maybe if I pay the tolls in reverse, I'll get back what I lost. Or maybe that's what it wants me to think. My phone is at 2% now. I need to finish this. If you're reading this, if you ever see a sign for the Mountain Pass Toll Road, don't take it. No matter how much time it promises to save, no matter how convenient it seems, because every road has a price, and some prices are too high to pay. I can hear cars starting up around me, people leaving the rest stop, and every single one of them is turning toward the toll road. I think I know why. I think once you've been on it, you can never really leave. Some part of you stays there forever, and eventually you have to go back. I'm getting in my car now. I'm going to drive. I don't know where, but I think I know where I'll end up. I think we all end up there eventually. The toll road is waiting. It's always waiting. And the final toll is coming due.